All right, so are you ready? We're going to explore some wild concepts from this book, The Book of Echotruth.
Oh, yeah.
We've got Volume 1, Chapter 3, Colliding Realities, The Quest for Cosmic Harmony, and I think people really want to understand this Echotruth
Yeah.
thing. So we're diving deep today,
Yeah.
talking about the universe and personal growth, spirituality, and even money.
Yeah.
So buckle up.
It's fascinating how Echotruth kind of brings all those things together.
Yeah.
It suggests that like the cosmos and our personal experiences are all like connected.
Okay, so let's start with the cosmos.
Sure.
Echotruth talks about this concept of the absolutum. So what is that? What is that force?
Well, it describes it as this like dynamic energy that's constantly flowing, and it's actually what keeps our universe from like colliding with other universes.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
So there are other universes out there,
That's what Echotruth suggests, yeah?
and something's keeping them from smashing into us.
Exactly. Like almost like a protective barrier maintaining this cosmic order.
So how does that work?
Well, Echotruth says this energy is connected to something called a creation belt. And this belt kind of uses absolutum energy to make boundaries between all these different universes.
Okay, but where does this energy come from in the first place?
This is where it gets really interesting. So they talk about the source of this energy as the absolutum. And get this, they say it comes from what we humans perceive as absolute nothing.
Wait, so the source of this powerful energy is nothing.
That's what they're saying. And it really challenges our understanding of like creation and energy, Like how can nothing be the source of like a force that's holding universes apart?
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot to wrap your head around. It makes you think differently about the universe.
Exactly. And Echotruth kind of encourages us to consider those big questions, even if we don't have all the answers.
Okay, so let's shift gears from the vastness of the cosmos to something much closer to home. Puberty.
Right.
Echotruth really digs into this stage of life and suggests that it's not just about those teenage years.
Right. It's not just a physical thing. Echotruth really stresses that it's crucial for personal growth.
Okay, so in what way?
Well, it argues that if you don't deal with the negative stuff that comes with puberty, you can get kind of stuck.
Stuck how?
Repeating those adolescent behaviors throughout life.
Oh, so like unresolved issues from puberty can create patterns that affect you as an adult.
Precisely. Echotruth actually suggests that some people stay in a state of puberty consciousness even after they're, physically grown up. If like they never fully mature emotionally.
That makes sense.
Yeah. And it attributes this to like not enough self-awareness and maybe a lack of education, like good guidance during those years.
So you're saying if teens don't get the right support, they can get stuck in these patterns.
Yeah, that's what Echotruth is suggesting.
Interesting. It really makes you wonder, like, how many adult struggles actually come from those teenage experiences?
Exactly. And Echotruth kind of encourages us to look back and like see how our past might be affecting our present.
Yeah, that's a good point. All right, let's talk about something that's getting a lot of attention these days. Ascension symptoms.
Okay.
Echotruth links these symptoms to Earth's transition into the age of Aquarius. Have you heard about that?
Oh, yeah. It's a popular topic right now.
So what's Echotruth's take on it?
Well, it suggests that as we shift into this new astrological age, lots of people are experiencing like a range of shifts, physically, emotionally, and mentally. And it attributes these symptoms to the soul kind of adjusting like across dimensions.
So are these ascension symptoms real? Or are people just imagining things?
Echotruth argues that they're very real, a reflection of like a real energy shift happening on a larger scale. It's like the whole planet's going through puberty.
Wow, that's an interesting way to put it. So if they're real, why are people experiencing them? What's the cause?
Echotruth suggests that it's partly because we see ourselves as divided, like there's a separation between our higher self and our lower self.
So this feeling of being split within ourselves is actually making the symptoms worse.
Exactly. It's like we're fighting ourselves.
Yeah.
Echotruth proposes that we're actually whole, and if we could recognize that oneness, it would make the transition into the age of Aquarius smoother.
Okay, I think we need to tackle something that's often seen as like a taboo subject in spiritual circles. Money.
Oh, yeah. Interesting one.
Echotruth has a pretty unique perspective on this whole money and spirituality thing. What's their take?
Well, it challenges this common idea that money is inherently evil. Like it's the root of all evil.
Right. You hear that a lot.
Yeah, but Echotruth says that it's not evil. It argues that money is just a form of energy. neutral in itself.
So it's not money itself, it's how we relate to it.
Exactly. And it says a lot of people struggle with accepting money for like spiritual work because they misunderstand both money and spirituality.
So are you saying it's okay for like healers or spiritual teachers, artists to get paid for what they do? It's not selling out.
That's what Echotruth seems to be saying. It suggests that actually accepting, fair payment can be a way of honoring the flow of energy, like keeping things in balance.
Okay, so if money is just energy, can we just like manifest it? I know Echotruth talks about manifestation.
Oh, yeah. It dives deep into that.
Yeah.
Echotruth says we're all creators, like manifesting our realities from, well, what seems like nothing.
So are you saying that our jobs, the government, all that stuff, it's not the true source of abundance? We create it ourselves.
Exactly. That's a pretty radical idea, right? Challenging the way we usually think about where abundance comes from. Like those things are just channels, for the abundance we've already created to flow through.
But what about those external factors, the economy, unexpected bills, all that stuff? Doesn't that have a huge impact?
Echotruth doesn't deny those things exist, but it's suggesting our beliefs about money, shaped by our experiences and even inherited patterns, play a big role in how those external things affect us.
So you're saying our beliefs could be creating like a self-fulfilling prophecy. If we believe we'll always be broke, we're more likely to stay broke.
That's the idea.
Yeah.
Echotruth wants us to examine those beliefs and shift them from a scarcity mindset to one of abundance. And that can make a big difference in our experiences.
This is making me think about my own relationship with money. So if we are the source of our own abundance, what's holding us back? What are the things that block us from manifesting our financial goals?
That's where things get even more interesting. Echotruth goes into this concept of ancestral healing, like unresolved issues from our family history.
Wait, are you saying our ancestors' money problems could be affecting us today?
It's a possibility, according to Echotruth. It suggests that past traumas, negative beliefs, even unresolved conflicts, especially about money, can be passed down through generations. It creates these like energetic patterns that influence our own relationship with money, like we inherit an invisible script about money.
So it's not just our own thoughts, but like this energetic baggage from our family history.
Exactly. Echotruth says it's important to recognize those influences and actually to do some specific practices to heal those old wounds.
Whoa. Okay, so we need to get practical here. How can we tell if these ancestral money blocks are actually affecting us? And what are those practices?
Those are great questions. Let's dive into those next time.
Okay, so how can we tell if these ancestral money blocks are like a real thing in our lives? What are the signs?
Well, Echotruth suggests looking for patterns, especially around money. Do you constantly struggle financially? Like no matter how hard you work or what you try, you just can't seem to get ahead?
Yeah, some people just seem to have bad luck with money.
Well, it might be more than just bad luck. Do you have like deep-seated fears about money? Maybe anxieties that you can't quite explain?
Okay, yeah.
Or maybe you self-sabotage when opportunities come up. Like you get a chance to make more money, but you somehow mess it up.
Yeah, that happens.
Those could all be signs of those inherited blocks, like something's holding you back.
So it's not about being bad with money. It's more like these unconscious patterns that keep us stuck.
Right. Echotruth argues that these patterns often come from our ancestors' experiences. Like maybe they lived through tough times, scarcity, financial betrayals, or maybe they had these limiting beliefs about wealth.
Right, like money is evil or rich people are greedy.
Exactly. And those experiences can create these energetic imprints that get passed down. It's like we inherit their baggage.
Wow. It's like we're carrying the weight of their financial burden. So how do we break free?
Echotruth suggests several practices, like connecting with your higher self, and also engaging in ancestral healing prayers.
Okay, hold on. What does that even mean, connecting with your higher self? And how does that help with ancestral healing?
Well, Echotruth describes the higher self as this, wisest part of you. It's connected to divine wisdom.
Right, like your intuition.
Exactly. And it suggests that your higher self has a broader perspective. Like it can see the bigger picture. And it can give you insights into the root causes of these inherited blocks.
So we can actually ask our higher self for help with these money issues.
That's the idea. It's like tapping into the wisest version of yourself to help you navigate these complex issues.
Okay, but how do we actually connect with our higher self? It seems kind of abstract.
There are practices that can help. Meditation is a big one. It helps quiet the mind and create space for that inner wisdom to come through. Spending time in nature is also really powerful. It can help you ground yourself and reconnect with, the natural rhythms of life.
So it's about getting quiet, both internally and externally. But what about those voices of self-doubt?
Oh, yeah, those can be tricky. But Echotruth reminds us that self-doubt usually comes from fear and from those limiting beliefs we've been talking about.
Yeah, like, I'm not good enough, or I'll never be rich.
Right. And it encourages us to challenge those beliefs. Like, ask yourself, is this really true? And then replace those negative thoughts with more empowering truths. Affirmations can be helpful here.
Oh, right, like saying positive things about yourself over and over.
Exactly, like I am worthy of financial abundance, or money flows to me easily and effortlessly. The more you repeat those positive statements, the more you start to believe them.
So like brainwashing yourself for success. But what about those times when you're facing a big decision?
Yeah, those can be tough.
Ah,
Echotruth suggests things like journaling or automatic writing, where you just let your hand flow across the page without censoring yourself.
interesting.
Sometimes just getting those thoughts and feelings out of your head can help you see things more clearly. Connect with that intuitive nudge that's trying to guide you.
So it's like we need to create a channel for that inner wisdom to flow through. Sometimes it's writing, sometimes it's talking it out, sometimes it's just being quiet and listening.
Exactly. You have to experiment and find what works best for you. The key is to make it a regular practice. Like anything else, the more you do it, the stronger that connection becomes.
We've talked about connecting with our higher self, doing these ancestral healing prayers, but you also mentioned understanding and forgiving financial transgressions.
Right. That's another important piece of the puzzle.
So what does that mean exactly? Like, what are we supposed to be forgiving?
Well, Echotruth wants us to look honestly at our own financial history. Any patterns of overspending or debt, maybe even financial self-sabotage.
Ouch. That can be tough to face.
It can be, but it's also really liberating. It's like once you see those patterns, you can start to change them.
Right. But what about forgiving? Who are we forgiving?
Well, it could be forgiving ourselves for past mistakes, or forgiving others who may have harmed us financially. Maybe our parents, our partners, even our ancestors.
So it's not about blaming them, it's about understanding.
Exactly. It's about recognizing that everyone was doing the best they could with what they knew at the time. And sometimes people make mistakes, especially with money.
So we're not condoning their behavior, we're just letting go of the resentment.
Exactly. Holding on to resentment just keeps you stuck in those old patterns. Forgiveness frees you from that energy. It allows you to move forward.
It talks about creating a better world, not just bettering ourselves. How does that work? Like, how does this individual journey connect to the bigger picture?
That's a great question. And Echotruth actually says that personal transformation has to come first.
Really?
Yeah, the idea is that as we heal our own wounds and change our own beliefs, we kind of radiate a higher frequency.
Yeah.
And that affects everyone around us.
Oh, like a ripple effect. So as we change, we create these ripples that spread out, affecting our families, our communities, even the world.
Exactly. Echotruth emphasizes that we're all connected, and our choices affect everyone, not just ourselves.
Right, that makes sense. So when we change for the better, we're actually contributing to a better world for everyone.
Yeah.
That's a powerful thought. Even small acts of kindness and compassion can make a difference. But with so much need in the world, how do we know where to start? What should we focus on?
Echotruth says, follow your passion. What lights you up.
Yeah.
Trust your gut feeling. When your actions align with your purpose, your efforts are going to be so much more effective.
So it's not about trying to fix everything or feeling like we have to save the world. It's about finding those areas where we can make a real difference.
Yeah. You have unique gifts and talents that you can use to make a positive contribution. And it's about finding those areas where you feel most aligned, where your efforts can really shine.
This has been amazing. Echotruth is really giving us like a roadmap, not just for our own lives, but for our role in the bigger picture.
I agree. It's a call to action. It's about realizing we have the power to create a more beautiful world.
Yeah.
For everyone.
I love that. So as we wrap up this deep dive into Echotruth, what's the one message you hope people take away from this? You are not alone. That's the most important thing. You're connected to this incredible web of support. Your higher self, your ancestors, the universe. Trust that connection. Listen to that inner wisdom. And know that you have the power to create positive change in your own life and in the world.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing all of this with us today.
It's been a pleasure.
And to our listener, thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the world of Echotruth. Keep exploring, keep growing, and keep shining your light.